It's well into 2017, and it's about time to update a review on Genesis Mining. So for all you don't know who don't know, Genesis Mining mines Bitcoin and other currencies and tries to gain a profit from this. The reason why I started around a year ago, and the biggest reason why I started was when I got my bank statement and I realized I have zero, like literally zero interest on my deposits. Basically, in Hong Kong right now, our interest rate is 0.00015%. So that's just ridiculous. Even like for this little amount of money I have, it's just ridiculous that I have no money coming back to me. So I kind of felt like needed a way to invest my money and to try to even get like a few percent back. And then I remember back in the day, I used to mine Bitcoin. So I found cloud mining, and that's how I really got started. I do have a video about this, talking about my adventures with mining Bitcoin in the past, and it's up on YouTube, and I'm going to share that in the link below if you guys are interested. But getting back onto Genesis Mining is pretty easy to start. You don't have to do anything. You just have to input your credit card and start mining and hopefully make a profit. But that's where the catch comes in. It's not so easy. And I really want to state that out very clearly to you guys that if in this review, everything's going to look easy, but when you want to start mining, when you want to start making money, you need to do a lot and a lot of research before you actually um, can make money. And I think that I really want to tell you guys that. And another thing I want to start with telling you guys here is that I did lose money with Genesis Mining before, and I'm still investing. And the reason why is because there is a lot of potential for profit if you know what you're doing. And this video will cover that. We'll cover how to start making money from this. So let's start with the review. It's really easy to start up and set up. There's nothing else to it. They take credit card and it's pretty easy to buy. But the hardest part comes with deciding what to buy. And I'm just gonna take you back to the what's on offer right now pricing. Okay, if you guys don't know, what you're buying is you're actually buying a kind of renting a data server. This is what you're buying. You're buying these kind of GPUs stacked there and doing calculations for a particular network. I'm going to go into a little bit about that later, but you're basically renting computer space, and they provided enough evidence for their mining operation that I do believe it's legit. So let's move on. This is the hardest choice you get when you come to start mining with Genesis Mining, is to choose which one. It's like kind of choosing which horse to bet on, you know. And there are wrong choices. I want to state that out directly right now. There are choices that are pretty bad, and they don't tell you that. And if you get into that, you might have a high chance of losing money and not even getting your investment back. So I will give a comparison table of which ones are good and which ones are bad in the later sections. But I'm just gonna start with kind of how this process goes right now. If you purchase a plan on Genesis Mining, I'm going to talk about these 2-year contract plans. They're something that you basically rent a miner, basically a portion that does the mining, and you get the profits daily. So I'm just show you what I've got right here. So for example, I have a 2-year mining contract in a currency called Dash, and I'm getting pretty much what, $1, a little bit above $1 back a day, and this is with a it's with a 62 hash rate. It was with $360, and I'm getting $1 back. So that's actually not bad. That's a little bit more than $1 as well. That's actually not bad. Basically, in a year, I'll see my money back, and I'll start making a profit on that over the next year. I do want to say that after the 2 years, once a contract expires, there's no more money coming through. So that's one thing you have to keep in remember. This is a 2-year contract. Right now, let's talk a little bit about your risk and rewards with mining with Genesis Mining. So when we have rewards that are so great, when you have rewards that are like 100% return on investment, these are not your usual safe investments. These contain a huge amount of risk, and you'll be fronting that risk, and you will get paid for it. That's the whole point of investing into this. So why I wanted to update this review is because there's a lot of stuff happening recently in the cryptocurrency world. So Bitcoin is the most popular cryptocurrency, and it grew quite exponentially last year, and now it's at a stable 1,100 level. But there was certain drama that happened in the Bitcoin world which caused all these other currencies to go up in value. For example, Dash really took off from $20 to $100 in the past 3 months. It's just utterly insane. My mind is just completely blown at how insane this is. And this is one of the great things about mining. You get into it and you get rewards, but also it can also collapse. I've seen currencies kind of totally collapse from 100 to 50 to 20. That happens as well. And there was a recent fall in the value of Dash from 100 down to around $60, $70 right now. And that's one of the biggest things you're upfronting. The value of the currency might be completely changing over time. And that's one of the biggest risks with mining with Genesis. You get your profits back daily, but it'll take a whole 2 years before you get everything back, which means that over the next 2 years, you're going to be experiencing a lot of fluctuation in value. Of course, the time that you sell is up to you. You're not forced to sell it, especially if you set the mining currency as Dash or Bitcoin. The currency that you choose is most important, and that's the currency that's in your virtual wallet. And when you sell, it's up to you. But at the end of the day, you want to sell at a good time, and it's a lot of kind of insight on your end on when you want to sell your currency. If you want to sell at 100, then you're going to make a lot of profit. If you sell at 20, then maybe not so much. So that's one of the risks there. At the end of the contract, maybe the currency will completely collapse or something might not go well. That's one of the potential risks of doing this. Another risk, of course, is mining difficulty. So what happens is that as more and more people buy computers to mine one of these currencies, it's going to get harder and harder to make a profit. The amount of money that you're receiving from your investment is going to be less and less. This is extremely true considering new technologies as well. As new technologies enters the market, it's going to make it more and more difficult to mine a particular currency. And it's actually really, really hard to calculate that. So these are the two biggest risks that you'll face when you're mining. So I'm going to show you guys what I've calculated so far. And this is a very rough table, and you should just use this as a rough guide. But here I have the contracts compared. You got Bitcoin, Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Monero, and Zcash. And you can see I put Zcash out in gray because this is the contract that would not make you any money. In fact, if you give 100 into it, you're going to get $66 back. You're going to lose money. That said, what I did with this table and what's special about it is that I put the cost as the same. So I'm just saying, what if I put $100 into each of these currencies? What I'm going to get back after 2 years? This is what the return in 2 years is asking. So right now, as appears on this table, Dash is still the best currency to mine right now. That is because there's a global shortage on Dash mining, and as a result, right now mining is just extremely profitable. You get almost three times your money back, and that's what I was showing you earlier. Of course, you got Ethereum. There's a lot of potential in Ethereum as well, and Litecoin. So right now, as of this point, all of these contracts are profitable. I do have to warn you about Monero. Monero, you get 20% return on investment. That's really good for a stock even. Like if you invest in the stock market or you put your money into any bonds, a 20% return on investment is insane. But you got to realize that there's a lot of risks associated with this. And this calculation that I did actually doesn't assume that the difficulty will go up over time. And this is definitely the case. So it's really, really hard to factor that in. And when mining difficulty goes up, your profits decrease. So that's bound to happen, and you're probably going to get a little bit less than this. This is the kind of the max you can get, assuming things go well. Of course, things can go even better, and Dash can, like, currencies can rise up exponentially, but that's what you can get. So let's look at one thing that I want to talk about as well is Bitcoin. Of course, everyone sees ads for Bitcoin mining on Genesis Mining, and it is probably the worst contract to take. What they offer is a infinite lifetime mining, and what you're trying to buy is you're trying to buy a contract that can last forever, and hopefully you'll make your money back. But I'm gonna tell you this: the contract is not as easy as everything else here, and what you have to be careful of is their fees. Their fees add up to quite a bit, and over the 2 years, it's not that profitable either. So I do want you to, if you guys are interested in Bitcoin mining, do take a look on my website. I have an extensive article on that. And this is the contract that I lost money on right now. So if you look at this and you look at my Bitcoin mining, it's the amount of returns I'm getting is just getting less and less and less each day because of their fees, because of their maintenance. This is not an issue for the 2-year contracts. The 2-year contracts, they don't charge any fees, but after the 2 years, the mining will just stop and you'll get nothing afterwards. So you have to make sure your math is right. And I do want to encourage you guys to actually just start looking and reading. I have a full website, boxmining.com, and there's a lot of information on there about the risks and the rewards that are involved with this. And when you want to start mining, you got to look and research. That's definitely what you want to do. So guys, I do want to say, yes, Genesis Mining, it's valid. It's usable if you know what you're doing. So that's my review. That's my review comment. If you guys know what you're doing, if you guys did your research and did everything, you can make a profit off Genesis Mining. But if you guys choose wrong and just invest in the wrong things, then no, it's definitely not for you. It's definitely a no. So guys, I do encourage you to read up, check out boxmining.com, and also there's a 3% off coupon that I can provide for you guys, and that just boosts your yield up a significant amount, especially since it's like 3% off a large amount of money. It's quite a bit of money. If you guys have any comments about Genesis Mining, I do want to hear them. I do want to hear what your experience is with Genesis, because I do want to improve the reviews that I do and improve my kind of hobbyist mining. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe and do comment on things. Thanks so much for watching.